Wow, well, that was a fun experience. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed what Canadelic brought. They have this every few months, so if you missed this time, don't worry, they'll have them again. I want you to introduce yourself just a little bit and what are you doing at Canadelic?
So I am a psychedelic concierge.
Okay.
And a psychedelic concierge is similar to a concierge at a hotel where you ask them like, hey, where should we go to dinner tonight? And then they ask you a series of questions like, hey, do you like wine, music, inside, outside? They get a vibe.
Yeah.
And then they make a recommendation.
Oh.
So people come to me and they ask me like, hey, here's what I'm trying to resolve, or here's my trauma, here's my intention for doing this. And I come up with a formula for them based on what psychedelic medicine, because they each have a different attribute.
Absolutely.
And so trying to guide people, and it's turned into a career for me. And now I have, dozens of people now who are trained as psychedelic concierges,
Okay.
and more people getting trained, so that we can have people around the country, around the world. So they'll say, if I'm, whatever your situation is, if somebody in the psychedelic concierge community is either geographically near you or specializes in a certain medicine, or maybe they work with women or veterans, that we can say, you know what? You actually need so-and-so in St. Pete, and you should start with ketamine because of this factor or that.
Okay, so it's like a whole network kind of communicating together, kind of like mycelium in a way.
Yes. We
I like
are
that.
the mycelium of, this movement where, if you are curious about psychedelics, and they say that there's right now 39 million people in the United States that are psychedelic curious. Those people, when they start out, they try to look on the internet and they find like some ayahuasca stuff, a couple mushroom retreats, but who knows? Maybe they need ketamine, or maybe they need iboga because they have an addiction. So our concept is to show these people what they need, not just have them, whatever they find is what they get. And so it's a very important thing. It's very lucrative. It is extremely fulfilling. And it's like the greatest career ever, because it's one of the only careers that will not be displaced by AI.
Ooh.
So all these other jobs, from a lawyer to a plumber, a robot is going to do it.
Yeah.
But when you are having a psychedelic experience, it's very important to have a human being with a human nervous system telling you what's going on. You don't want AI coming up with like what most people should be experiencing.
Yeah, or like you're talking to AI while on your journey. That would be very interesting.
I think that would be interesting, but at the same time, its information would be generalized. It would not be like, the psychic connection of what you need to hear in that moment. That might be different than what the standard fare is. So we are excited about that. I'm predicting that taking care of babies, taking care of the elderly, and psychedelic guiding and integration are the three only industries that will not be disrupted, where you really do want to have a human touch in there. So.
Right. And would you say that psychedelics has taught you something?
I would say psychedelics has enhanced my life in a way that I'm really grateful for. I have 2 documentary films about psychedelic medicine.
Ooh, okay, plug those a little bit.
So, I have one movie called The Reality of Truth with Michelle Rodriguez, the actress from Fast and Furious. She and I and some friends went down to Peru and drank ayahuasca with a shaman, San Pedro cactus with a shaman. That movie has been seen over 25 million times.
I need to watch this.
Yes, it is said to have caused over 1 million people to have a psychedelic experience because they watched the movie.
Yeah.
So I say, don't watch the movie unless you're prepared to do psychedelics. It will turn you. And then I have another movie with Lamar Odom, the basketball player Kardashian.
Okay.
And it is a movie, I'm going to plug it right here on the screen.
Yeah.
This is the film. It's called Reborn.
Reborn.
And it's about a psychedelic intervention that I gave him starting in 2019.
Wow.
And I'm happy to report that he has not done any hard drugs in 6 years. He is reconnected with his family. He played professional basketball again, because one of the things he did in there, he did ketamine treatments to stabilize him. Then he did ibogaine treatment, which is a total physical and mental reset. And he's firing on all cylinders. He recently got pulled over in Las Vegas for driving while smoking weed, which is his medicine, and it's medicine to me. But of course, they tried to vilify, and they go, "He got a DUI." And it's like, he didn't get a DUI. Like, I had marijuana in the car. Like, it's not a big deal. Okay, so it's just really an education process. That's what's going on. But what I think psychedelics do for people is they reconnect you to the fact that you're in a miracle right now. And right now, we get jaded because the illusion is so good that you're like, well, it really seems like we're disconnected from each other and there's space in here and everything. But the fact is that, the sun is 93 million miles away, so we have an atmosphere. I can talk on my phone to China in real-time video. It's a total miracle.
Right.
And the reality is that you lose that. And so psychedelics reconnect you to that, and then you start walking around in this, miraculous state, appreciative of nature and all this. And I say to people,
watch out.
I say to people, why would these things be growing out of nature, out of the ground? And why would you have a receptor in your body for it if you weren't supposed to interact with it?
Absolutely.
So if you go through your whole life and you never interact with these things, you may have missed the entire point of life.
Boom.
And I say to people, I wouldn't want to die and be standing in front of God. And God says, well, why are you here? And I say, oh, I died of this disease or something. And then God says, well, why didn't you take the natural things that were growing there to help you? And if my answer is because a guy in a white coat told me not to do it, then probably God's going to be like, guess what? You're going back another 100 lifetimes. You didn't learn anything. You're not thinking for yourself.
That's a good point.
So
wow.
I hope to, just share through incredible people in our program and beyond, the Steve Jobs of the world and Elon Musk and, these incredible people all the way back to Aristotle and, Plato and Marcus Aurelius. They were using, in their Elysium Mystery School, they were using psychedelics. They were using fungi. And so as a result of that, we get this benefit. And so we have to pass it on. It's just pay it forward. Once you know, and then it's your turn to pass it on. And so that's what it taught me. And what I'm excited about is there's a very important tipping point moment that's about to happen that people don't know about, strap in here, psilocybin mushrooms. The DEA just asked the Health and Human Services to give them a recommendation on rescheduling psilocybin off of Schedule 1. And it's in the hands already of RFK Jr. and the Health and Human Services. But what people don't know is that once they reschedule it, even to Schedule 2, because psilocybin's already had a phase 1 clinical trial, it'll be available to use under the Right to Try Act. And this is an act that Trump put into place during his first term, usually for cancer drugs and things. So it was like, okay, this hasn't been proven out, but you have the right to try it. You can't sue anybody if it goes wrong, but it's your right to try it. And psilocybin, because it had that phase 1 clinical, you are allowed to use it under right to try. And we're about to have like 7 to 10 million people in the next year in America try psilocybin for the first time.
That's good news.
It is great news. And you want to have somebody who can guide you, sit with you, help you to integrate. And that's what this psychedelic concierge is all about, is just, giving people the right information, the right guidance, so they can get as much out of it as opposed to, having to learn as they go, which is what happens during Prohibition. So,
well, thank you so much. That was a lot of knowledge.
Thank you. Yes, this is amazing. Fungi, going to change the world. And who knows, this podcast could be the tipping point.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
You too. This is what they should be teaching in regular school, because if you know this, you can go anywhere and be fine. If you don't know this, you're going to probably listen to a bunch of people that seem like they know what they're talking about, but knowing yourself, the study of life, and I'm going to call this lifeology. So where Scientology is the study of science, theology is the study of religion, lifeology is the study of life and yourself. And so know yourself, as they say, and do the work. And so if you can have a workbook and you can have all that guidance, and you know, from everything from, you know, a dosing schedule, like how to dose the medicines with references, your experiences, how to integrate, this is critical.
That was amazing. I met so many awesome people, did some good networking experience, and I even found a friend that hosts his own podcast studio, so now we can do in-person interviews right next to my house. I love living in St. Pete.